Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. 23 volts here for some more Shadowverse meta shakeups. I think that maybe might be what I call it, but I don't know. Anyway, we have Havencraft here for this video. So for Havencraft, looking at what we have in terms of what were commonly played, we've got Mechana Elena, Ward Haven, Storm Haven, Mechana Elena, Storm Elena, Mechana Helena. Okay, cool. Now let's actually have a look what cards are going to be leaving for rotation. So again, Machina's going to get hit hard just due to the fact that, you know, Rebellion is the one leaving. Ooh. So here is the list of characters who will be leaving in the next expansion. Lamonia is gone. Goodbye. You were great for Machina. Another good card for Elena Haven is Zoe. She was just an awesome card to have just in general. The Untrue God, no one ever used that legendary card anyway, so boo-hoo to that. For any other big major cards, I would say Iron Knuckle Nun was an amazing card that is gonna go. Robo Falcon, again with the whole Machina trait thing, is gonna be gone as well. Everything else is just kind of there if it depends. Like for example, Father Refinement, you won't see a 3-ofs in Machina healed decks. If anything, you'll probably only see 1 or 2. Because of the fact that, you know, you change all the repair modes to 0. So that means you can infinitely buff if you manage to save up a bunch of repair modes in your hand and you had Elena's Prayer out there, blah, blah, blah. So, again, it's just kind of... Some of these are very niche picks. Like, again, same with Sonya, Protector of Hope. This is... I didn't use this for my Ward deck because it's a bit heavy. It is useful, though, at turn 7 if you're going to be, doing one of that stuff. But, it's there as well. I think that is all I need to mention for the cards that are going. So the biggest ones that are probably going to get hit is Zoe, definitely, Lamonia, Iron Knuckle, and Robo Falcon. Everything else is just kind of, it depends if you were ever using it in your card deck or whatever. So, new card number 1, 5 cost 2/6. Legendary follower for Haven is Sophina Strength, is the 8th Terror card. Accelerate 2, put a Somnolent Strength in hand. Fanfare, give all other followers +1/+1 ward. So very good for Ward Haven. Whenever you're playing Ward Haven, you're mostly playing followers with ward anyway. But with this card, I guess it allows you to play smaller followers that have more impactful effects and then giving them ward anyway. While there's followers in play, all allied followers in play that come into play can't take more than 3 damage. Wow. So this character is very good for playing with people that protect her because again, it's 2/6. So is it a she or a he? We'll just go with that. They themselves don't actually have wards, so that means they're behind all the ward stuff, and all of your ward stuff wouldn't take more than 3 damage at a time, so if your wards are thick, then this is good, especially if they're +1/+1. I don't know if there's too many wards that actually have that. So if you choose to play the Accelerate, however, at the end of your turn, give +2 to a random follower, and then last words, give -2 to a random enemy follower. This is really good. It's buffing your team, debuffing their team. It's fun. I dig it. And again, it's at the end of your turn, so 9 times out of 10 you're going to have something on the board to receive the buff. And it's going to be very good, especially for your wards, so that they can tank even more. Alright, and then we have Sarissa. Lux Flash Spear is a 3 play point 2/2 legendary follower. Fanfare, the next time this follower takes damage, reduce that damage to 0. Free trade. Cool. Awesome. Randomly summon a copy of one of the highest cost allied followers that had ward when they were destroyed this match. Wilbert would probably be the one that comes to mind here. It's 6 play points though, so you have to play Wilbert first and then play this, which is pretty neat. For 6 play points, it's essentially just another Wilbert. Yeah. That's how I see it. Whenever an allied follower with ward is destroyed, gains +2/+2. Yeah, this card's pretty neat. I like it. It can get buffed. It can get buffed really well, especially for the fact that it doesn't actually ward itself. Now, this mixed with this, I'm not too sure because this does give stuff ward, which does mean that enemies can actually start reaching this follower now. So you kind of don't want to you want to make sure that you don't have Zofina and Sarissa on the board at the same time. Next, Revenant Educator is a 5 play point 2/3, very low stats with ward, a gold card. Fanfare, restore 2 defense to your leader. Draw a card during your turn. Whenever your leader's defense is restored, summon a Snake Priestess. Turn 5, you play this for 5, you get a 3/6 both, like, 3/6 bodies, 3/6 worth of stat line, and a ward. Both are pretty easy to deal with, but again, since they both have ward, you know, your opponent's probably going to have to get rid of them anyway. You restore 2 defense to your leader, you draw a card. So defensive, you restore, draw, and the cool thing is that even like afterward, like say in later turns, you can play this, and then you can keep restoring your defense. An amazing thing about this is that this is an evolve restore 2 defense to your leader. So that means not only do you get full stats on evolve, you summon another Snake Priestess. Turn 5, going first, you get a 4/5 body with ward, and a 1/3/1/3 with ward. It's essentially a smaller version of Poseidon. Like, yes, you did have to spend an Evo for it, but you got it fucking in turn 5. So, I actually like this card a lot. Gives you a lot of wards to work with. Elena, Iron-Willed Priest, is a 3.23 Havencraft gold follower. Fanfare, put a Lorena's Holy Water into your hand. This also synergizes very nicely with the Revenant Adjudicator. During your turn, whenever your defense is restored, if it's the second time this turn, gain the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. Evolve, deal X damage to an enemy follower. X equals the attack of an allied follower with the highest attack in play. Okay, so I think, in my opinion, I'm not sure about this card, only because I don't know how easy it is to proc that unevolved effect. Now, Lorena's Holy Water, if you're wondering, is a 1 play point, restore 2 defense to an ally, that includes your leader if you want to, and draw a card. You'll be using that Holy Water on your leader just so that you can try to proc this ability. Oh, I guess this is kind of just a mix of both worlds, because the other Lorena kind of did the same thing, so okay, never mind. So for 4 play points, this is actually not that bad. In any case, like, I see that if it's the second turn this game getting the ability to evolve for 0, I find that's a bit difficult. Maybe, I don't know. Going first in turn 5, if you have a 1 play point heal, which I think you do. 1 play point heal. Then yeah, you can easily evolve this for free, which is nice. And then you get to do damage on the board. I was kind of skeptical at first, but I think I can get by with this card. This card's actually alright. 3 play point 1/4. 4 Pillar Tortoise. Ward card. Fanfare, randomly put a 4 play point Havencraft follower from your deck from follower or amulet from your deck into your hand. So it's a tutor card that goes for 4 drops. Do we have 4 drops? Have we actually said any 4 drops yet? No, they've just been 5/3, 5/3, and this is another 3 cost card. Let's actually have a look at the 4 drops that we could also tutor. Kel, you can get Elena, Holy Light Covert. Depends, it just really depends on your playstyle. I think actually, this is actually not that bad, because if you're playing Elena decks, this works out really well. That's purely just there for Elena. Like, you lose Kel doing it, because if you're gonna do this, you're gonna primarily just use Elena to go all the way. I like this. This card definitely has its very good uses. Alright, so there's some new shit. 6 play 0.55 Silver Follower, Pure Song Priest. Accelerate 1, restore 1 defense to your leader. If an allied follower with ward is in play, draw a card. That is exceptionally good. This just bounces off this bitch. Lorena. Yeah, okay, there you go. Another 1 play point restore leader, and as well as if there's a ward in play, which be this guy, so you play it with this, and that's fucking good. And then Fanfare, restore 4 to all allies. I doubt I'll be using that. Most likely the Accelerate 1 is just way better. That also means that if you play this going first and you play Elena, evolve her, play this, you heal yourself 1, you buff Elena, you draw a card. I can see Elena getting a lot of support as well, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Jeweled Brilliance, a 1 play point silver spell. Put a random amulet from your deck into your hand. Pretty basic. That is actually the most basic spell I've ever seen in Shadowverse Power Creep. Now, what amulets are we looking to pick up here? There's only a couple that I can think of. Like, you'd either go Golden Bell or Hallowed Cave Shrine, but other than that, there's probably going to be amulets later on, so we might see some bronze amulets soon after. But yeah, basic card, got no problem with it. It's pretty good. 4 play point 25 Priestess of Foresight, bronze Havencraft follower. Fanfare. If another follower with ward is in play, destroy an enemy follower, otherwise gain ward. That get rid of something tall, and if you're going second, if you have a ward on board, otherwise. Wow, they're really pushing Wardhaven. I like it. Wardhaven is really fun. Stalwart Featherfolk. Haven't we seen this guy before? 2 play point, 2/2 bronze ward. If any allied amulets are in play, restore X defense to your leader. X equals the number of allied amulets in play. Well, I do like the fact that it's a ward card. Oh, I just realized though that this isn't actually going to be that helpful. Thing that you need to keep in mind with Ward Haven, most of the time, you're wanting to have something that is more than 2 attack. And that's mainly just because of this girl. When you play the Goddess of the West Wind, you put 2 different Havencraft followers whose original attack are 2 or less from your deck into play. And in Waterhaven, this is amazing, because when you play her, the 2 followers that you would get are the Holy Light Convert and the Holy Lancer. Now, the Holy Lancer will summon a Holy Cavalier, and because this thing affects the start of the next turn, this thing will get, what, +6 at least? So for 6 play points, you get a 1/5 and a 2/5. The 2/5 spawns a 1/2, which he then buffs to a 2/3, and then the Holy Light Convert will also be buffed from being a 1/5 to a 5/5, because where's it for each ally follower with ward, including itself. So no, this will become a 7/5. So for 6 play points, you get a 7/5, a 2/5, and a 2/3, and a 3/3. 3 of them with ward. So that's why that specific combo is really good, especially if you get it at 6. The problem is, when you have cards like this play on Fanfare Effect, its Fanfare Effect is good. Maybe it's a budget option if you just, for whatever reason, don't have the silver options. Or actually, this might be a good budget option if you don't have the Goddess of the West Wing. This one it's okay. It's a 2 play point 2/2 with ward, so already it's Veteran Lance's stats with the effect of restoring health to your leader. Bronze, 2 play point 3/1 follower, Prisma Plume Bird. Last words, randomly summon a Summon Pegasus or a Binny on Prayer. Pretty shit card. Easier to deal with stat line. Yes, it's aggressive. Maybe if you're playing like Storm or Aggro Haven, maybe this could be good, but in my opinion, it's not. 2/3/1, easy to deal with. Last words is random, so you might get a Pegasus, which takes way too long to spawn, or you could get the better Holy Falcon, which comes out earlier, but also has Storm, which if you're playing Stormhaven, then that makes sense. Here's a 4 play point amulet, like we mentioned earlier, Holy Bright Altar. 4 amulet, countdown 1. If an allied follower with ward is in play, subtract 1 from the cost of this amulet. From the amulet, summon a Holy Winged Dragon, which a Holy Winged Dragon is a 6/6 body at 4. This thing has ward. This thing immediately summons a Holy Winged Dragon. Alright, so where does that put us here for Havencraft? So Havencraft is going to take a little bit of damage, not a whole lot, just only a little bit, because again, with the loss of their Machina part, it does make some of their Machina stuff really more difficult to pull off, I think. I mean, I can't remember how that deck plays. It has been a while. I did actually play that a lot just because I got 2 early Justines during the first playing of the game. Oh, let's see, because the things that are getting cut out is the Robo Falcon, the Iron Knuckle, and that's basically it. Like, I mean, you can easily fill out those 2 with other Machina cards if you want to get the Natura stuff going. I wouldn't say, yeah, I think about it. Oh, and you're also losing Lamonia, which is actually a pretty core component just to get the because the cool thing with Lamonia is that you can also fuse her in her like 0 cost spells into Natural Machinas. Yeah, I can see that this being a little bit more difficult to pull off. But the fact of the matter is, Elena still exists, and now we have a tutor for Elena, so I can still see Elena being a thing. Wardhaven probably got the biggest buff to itself. There's so many followers with Ward now. This thing, I actually don't even know what the RNG is with this thing. Because everything else had RNG, this thing didn't. I mean, the only RNG thing about it is the strength, where it just hit a random allied follower, and then the last word hit a random enemy follower. But other than that, those are pretty tame buffs and debuffs. I think Haven will remain stable Again, focus heavily on Ward Haven. Not sure because the problem with Ward Haven is there is no win card. Like the whole quote unquote win card is just you playing followers with Ward and then hitting your opponent in the face and then having your opponent just constantly being super cautious of ever attacking a Ward because it hurts them. Like that's all I can see out of this. Like they don't have a card that ends the game, which in a sense is probably a good thing. Like there shouldn't always be one card that is like do this amount of damage to your leader if so and so is met. You know, I personally think it's fine. I'm gonna play it anyway. I usually just play low meta decks just because it's so much fun. But anyway, that's enough of that. My name is 23 Volt. I'll see you guys next time for Portalcraft. Whew, we're nearly done.